Well, hello there and welcome to my channel. My name is Katarina and we are meeting here once again to carry on with my book club. This is a January version and once again I have 3 books which I picked for you, which I read, enjoyed, and I would definitely recommend for you to do the same. So let's get started. First book of January book club is called The Longhorn Sisters, written by James Fox. Book looks like this. I hope you can see it nicely. If not, I will link it down below so you can find it, possibly purchase it somewhere if you are interested. This book is sort of biography story about the very famous sisters called Longhorn Sisters, as the title of the book shows us. But those sisters were born in Virginia in America. They weren't really born into a very high class family, but after the Civil War in America, their father managed to push their family up to the high class and they suddenly became rich and their life changed. And the book is talking all about it, and from this time forward how their lives changed and how they evolved. The book actually contains collection of many letters which were preserved and saved, and we can actually have a very good insight into the family, into the life in America after the Civil War. Also 2 or 3 of the sisters, few of the sisters, then moved to UK, so you can kind of see what was the life in UK during the First World War and in between and during the Second World War as well. This book is very interesting because it's very truthful. James Fox is the part of the family, and this is why he had actual insight into the letters which were saved. He is not hiding things and he is showing the raw truth, all the ups and downs in a family, everything what they had to go through. And interesting facts, also some things which will make your skin crawl, because that time is very famous for a lot of racism going on, also anti-Semitism, as we know what ended up in a Second World War, which is hard to read, but I think it's very important that we read stories like that and we do see how people were thinking at that time and how did it end up, and we should know the whole truth. We should know and we should see what was behind everything what happened, and we should learn from those mistakes. It is really hard to read, but I think it's good education to see and to learn what we should not be doing. I really like this book because it's historical. I love historical books, but also it contains a lot of interesting information. For example, Nancy Lancaster, later called Nancy Astor, was one of the first MPs which were women. I think she was the first MP which was a woman in UK. She was the only woman sitting in a parliament for a while, and it explains and shows how did it go. It wasn't very good. I'm not sure if it changed and improved by now, but she was not very accepted and very tolerated or appreciated. Also, I really liked the book because some of the people in a family, in a big family which later expanded, were involved in a lot of politics and a lot of economics, a lot of decisions which were made, and the book is very honest and truthful and is explaining everything what happened before Second World War and decisions which were made in UK which greatly affected my country as well, where I am from, Slovakia. Usually these informations are not publicly spoken in the books. Usually when people are writing books, they are not talking about it openly, and they will just tell that Slovakia was actually working with Germany and this is how did it go, but it wasn't like that. So if you want to learn how did Slovakia ended up in a mess, and Czech Republic as well, this book is really good insight into those stories. So it is quite valuable to me as well, because it's one of the very few books where you can actually read the whole truth, what happened and how people behaved and how all the situation could have possibly been prevented. Definitely recommend the book. I really enjoyed it. It took me a while to go through it. It's quite big book with the tiny letters inside, but I did manage. It took me, I think, about a couple of months. It wasn't the book which I had to read every second of a day, but I did enjoy it. I did learn a lot, and I would definitely recommend it to you as well. Next book is called Close My Eyes, written by Sophie McKenzie. I picked this book in a charity shop without knowing what was it about or what is to be expected from this book. Sophie McKenzie is known, apparently, I didn't know that, for writing teen novels and mystery teen novels, and this one, Close My Eyes, is her only book which was written for adults. As I picked the book, I have no idea what treasure did I actually buy from a charity shop. When I bought it, it was brand new. It was never opened, never read before. So that just shows what kind of treasures can you find sometimes when you expect it the least. This book is a mystery novel again. Once I started it, I could not put it down. Seriously. Every free minute which I could get in a day, I spent reading this book. I finished this book in about 2 or 3 days while working as well. So that's perfect. That's very fast. I could not let it down. I was so invested. The book is written in such a interesting way that I was part of a story. I was investigating together with the main character. I was suspicious of people. I was screaming inside, don't trust that person, don't trust the other person. Oh yeah, now you can trust this person, but don't trust the other person. And I could not stop reading it. I was really worried, and I even speak up out loud that I am very scared of the ending, because sometimes, which happens with the books like this, you might get slightly dissatisfied by not very interesting ending. Not this book. This blew my mind. It's absolutely amazing. I'm talking about it right now and I actually have goosebumps. It's so good. The ending is absolutely mind-blowing and amazing. I don't know how else to describe, but I was so shocked but nicely surprised that this is going to be one of my favorite books, and I'm going to keep it and treasure it and probably recommend it to my friends as well, because I just could not expect it. I loved the ending so much. I think this was one of the best novels, mystery novels ending I have ever read in my life, and I love it. Absolutely great, amazing, lovely, wonderful. You should definitely read that if you love mystery novels. Trigger warning, definitely would not recommend it to people who are going through the IVF, who went through the IVF, or who might possibly be going through the IVF. That might be slightly hard to read, maybe a little bit scary. This will give you a little bit of spoiler for the book, but you won't know what will actually happen in the book until you read it, and you won't be dissatisfied, I can guarantee that. And this is my favorite one from all three today, which I'm recommending to you, just so you know. The others are good, but this one is fantastic. Last but not least is a novel written by Lisa Genova, and the novel is called Still Alice. Still Alice is a fascinating story which is not biography, but I think is slightly inspired or very inspired by people who Lisa Genova met in her life. Still Alice, again, is a story about Alice who is in her 50s, and she is a very well-known Harvard professor who is diagnosed with early set Alzheimer Alzheimer. The book is talking and explaining and expressing and showing you how the life of Alice, but also her close friends and her relatives and her family changed after finding out this information. This book was very valuable for me because it's not just made up story. Lisa Genova, the author, the writer, is actually a neuroscientist, and she is meeting the people, she is diagnosing the people, and she is watching people who are suffering with Alzheimer's. So she's got this very close perspective. No, she meets people and she sees their lives, she can see what is changing, how it is affecting, and I believe she took all the informations and everything what she learned in her professional career into this book, and this book is very fascinating. It is really different because, you know, on the very beginning, when the main character is diagnosed, that this book is not going to be having a happy ending, but you hope that nothing really bad will happen. But this book is very honest, and it just shows how the family is affected, but how the person who is actually suffering with the disease is affected, how their life is changed, how everybody treats them differently, how everything is different, and how they are trying to adapt and live their life the best as they possibly could. The ending, as I said, you know, it's not going to be happy ending, but I think in the book is the best possible ending which the main character could have. This book will widen your perspective. You can learn a lot. You can learn about the symptoms, the signals. You can learn about the feelings, how to communicate to people. Maybe if you have somebody close to you who is suffering with Alzheimer, it might show you maybe how to help them. This book doesn't contain tips just to tell you have to do this and that, but maybe you can get some inspiration out of it and try some things yourself if you really have somebody close to you suffering with the Alzheimer. But this book is written so brilliantly, and it just points onto the right things and the most important things, and just to show us that we really have to appreciate and enjoy every single second of our life, because we don't know what is waiting behind the next corner, and your entire life might change by 1 day or 1 second or half an hour or a week. You never know what to expect. Life is full of surprises, and we really need to appreciate every little thing in our life, the people who you have around you, and just show them, tell them, call them, scream at them what you feel, how you love them, and love yourself as well. And that's it from my January book club. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for staying with me. I hope you will try and read the books. If yes, please let me know, leave a comment, check out my old videos. I uploaded few book clubs already. Join me in the reading, because why not? We all have a bit more time this year as well as last year, so why not invest it into learning, reading, and just doing something more valuable. So thank you again. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you to all my subscribers. I will hopefully see you soon. Check out my vlogs which I started filming this year. If you are interested, you are very welcome to check all my videos which are in my library. Look after yourself, stay happy, stay positive, keep smiling, and I will see you very soon.